inside my car on the expressway to your home.
All right, Doc 103.9. We call that the Drive Montage. That's the theme song for Louie Herron, Louie Herron Toyota. It's the auto show back on the air.
I like it. We're going to make sure that when we do some more shows, keep talking about the TAVT, the new tax laws, the elimination of ad valorem. The birthday tax is no longer, but we want to continue to, that's an evolving, changing code that they put in place, but I want to make sure that when we give that information that it's accurate, and whether it's leasing or buying. So not today, but we're gonna get into that, Chip, to make sure the consumers have an idea of what that is and how that affects them. We're talking today, though, about the selling process, the car buying process, what the expectations. I think as a consumer comes to the dealership, your level of expectations is really critical in your experience. In other words, if you had a past experience that was not good, your expectations of this one's probably not going to be good. You're already going to be armed and ready to go, nervous, upset, angry, and distant. And if you think about it, if you're really wanting a smooth transaction, we're going to start off on the wrong foot, and that's not your fault. Of course, that's a choice you may make to feel that way, but I understand. So what we want to do is eliminate some of those feelings and have a better expectation. Let's talk about the initial part of it, the meet and greet. Sounds very basic. It's the building rapport part. It's the part that is a very important piece to the dealership, not so much to the customer. The customer doesn't care to get to know you and how many kids you got and all that kind of stuff. I understand that. To the dealership, it's very important because in those questions of children and schools and where do you go and hobbies, those start to formulate exactly what needs may be assessed. Sure. Because after we meet and greet and get a rapport going and understand kind of what we're looking for and what brought you to the dealership, what's the circumstance? Is it a graduation gift? Is it a total loss of a car? Yeah. Is a car just you've kept it 10 years and is ready to go? Is your lease ready to expire in 2 months and you need to get something new? Who knows? We're going to find that out. But the very most critical piece that I think everybody discounts and really, and I would love for you to speak to this, Chip, the needs assessment. Assessing the consumer's needs. Now, most consumers don't want to be at a dealership 5 hours. They don't want to go back and forth. The way you eliminate that is you find the right car for the right needs and accommodate them financially, give them the most amount of car they can possibly get for the amount of money they want to spend. Mm-hmm. The only way you find that out is the needs assessment. Too often, car dealers, it's not a needs assessment, it's an interrogation. It's the how much you want to pay a month, how much you got down, how's your credit. You know, nobody wants to be berated like that. That's not the way you do it. Unfortunately, some car dealers still do it that way. So consumers, ironically, they don't like that part of the process. They want to keep all that information close to the vest. And when I want you to know what I want to pay per month, I'll tell you what I want to pay per month. That's not important right now. Here's what I'm looking for. And I understand that. I will tell you that if you have somebody that's a professional, it doesn't matter what dealership you go to, and you know they're a professional, and they're truly, genuinely, sincerely trying to find out what are the needs. Yep. Tell me more about this next purchase. Tell me what you didn't like about your old trade so we can help find you the most car for your money. Be open-minded. Here's a critical piece. Like at our dealership, we would like the consumer, after we meet and greet, we build a little rapport, find out what brought them to the dealership, invite them into the store. No pressure, no anything. Offer them a cup of coffee, something cold to drink. While you're inside, we would like to appraise your car if there's going to be one. Why do we want to do that now? Some people say, why don't want you look at my car right now? Well, my thought process is if we wait and do it later and you want to look at figures, guess what? The time is just tick, 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 tick. It's more time ticking. Right. If I can have your car appraised by the time you come back into the dealership, that's 20 minutes less right off the clock that we don't have to fool with. Gotcha. Now, you don't have to have an appraisal, but what we like to do is offer a consumer, whether you buy or don't buy, a free appraisal that's good for 7 days or 100 miles and give you a free Carfax. Just as a little benefit. You know what? You don't feel pressure. You don't have to buy anything today. But while you're here, let us praise your car, give you a value that's good for 7 days, shop it all over town if you want to, and we'll give you a Carfax.
Gotcha.
So we try to incentivize that, but bringing the consumer inside, offering them a cup of coffee or something cold to drink, literally having not a form, but 6 or 7 questions that really help us determine what car do we need to select? Because a lot of consumers think they want one thing and they leave in something else. Have you ever seen that?
I was going to ask you that. A lot of consumers may not know what they need.
They may not. They just know they want something new and they saw this car on the street and it looked good. They finally say, hey, this Toyota Avalon looks great. I want to, I just want to come. That's what I want. They drive the car and go, you know what? It's too big. I don't like it.
Miss Smith, your 6 children are not going to fit in that Scion.
Exactly, right? So then they go from that car and say, well, let me drive a Camry. Next thing you know, you work a deal, they leave in a Camry, but they came on an Avalon.
Yeah.
All this is time, Chip, time. And what consumers hate, based on the surveys, they hate back and forth, they hate pressure, and they don't want to be at a dealership for 4 hours.
Right.
So if you have a good professional outfit, a good dealership, they should be focused on minimizing time, not going back and forth, right? And making sure that they do those things. So we'll go to a break. I want to express to you, after somebody meets and greets you, when it takes the next step to find the needs, please be open-minded. I mean, if he's not a professional or she's not a professional, you'll know, because if they start asking you, what do you want per month and what do you want, how much do you got to put down? In my opinion, that's garbage. We'll get to that later. Let's talk about the car. What do you want? What are you looking for? That is the most important thing. The monies will come up, and we need to know it. We'll get to that later.
All right. Very good. It's Chip and Louie, the auto show, every week at this time, every Saturday morning, every Monday morning. We've got more coming up and the latest forecast next. This is Doc 103.9.